Hey gamers, I'm Zybots7. Hope we're all well, guys. I'm back at last. Another 6 weeks absence for me off the tubes, unfortunately. Sorry about the lack of content, guys, but work situation yet again has just given me absolutely no time to do anything. I've been on a different shift. So I'm now back on nights again, which gives me plenty of time to get things done. How long I'm going to be on this shift, I don't know, because as I say, due to the pandemic and being off for a few months, I've gone back and I've had to go through a few issues at work. And as I say, like, I was on a new shift for over 6 weeks, so they've just put me back onto nights. So touch wood, everything stays as normal and I stay on nights, which then gives me time to get some videos up. So as I say, it's been a good 6 weeks since I've done a video and 3 months since I've done a Hit Squad video. So I thought I'd don the t-shirt and give you guys another Hit Squad update. I got another 19 games to show you across the board, and as I say, I'm not doing too bad. I've been quite busy with these Hit Squad games. I've now got 11 more to find. So what I'll do is I'll leave a list down below in the info of the games that I'm after. So any help is more than grateful. I should post it on the Hit Squad group as well. I haven't put a post up there for a while, so I'll do the same on the Hit Squad post. And as I say, you know, it's great to be back. Let's crack on and get some Hit Squads added to the collection. So as I say, we've got a varied selection. We've got 19 in total. So let's start with the first 2 games. Now, the first 2 games are games that don't have a number. These are just games within the collection, just with the Hit Squad logo on the side. Now, the first one is, of course, Trivial Pursuit. Now, I've loaded it up. I've not played this game at all. It's not a game I'm going to be really playing, but I'm assuming this plays like the board game itself, which is Trivial Pursuit. I think we've all played this once in our lifetime. Not a bad game, a board game, very, very good, but I can't see myself sitting there and actually playing this on the Commodore 64 with a group of friends regardless. But there you go. That is the first one, guys, and that's Trivial Pursuit. And as I say, not numbered. This is just a standard Hit Squad release. So the second one is exactly the same, but this one is more it's more difficult to find. You can't come across this one very often, and now this one was found for me, and I had a very good price on this one from a good friend and a good fellow Hit Squad collector. That's Paul, Mr. Bads. And he contacted me and he said, "I found you Pictionary." And as I say, this doesn't come up very often. It's in very, very nice condition, as you can see. Yet again, no number on this one. It's just the standard logo for the Hit Squad. But he done me a great deal on this. And I'm very happy and very grateful that he did that for me. So, as I say, because this doesn't come up very often. So, fantastic. Thanks very much for that, Paul. But there's the next game, and that is Pictionary. Right, on to the one and only sports title. I managed to grab another sports title. I've yet to really sit back and count these games because I'm not too sure how many sports titles there are, how many movie titles there are, and how many, obviously, of the standard unbranded there are. So in the next video, I'll have to give you an update on actually how many I actually have or whether I've completed any of the sets yet. But this one is another sports title. One of the harder to find, definitely not an easy game to come across, and I have come across it a couple of times but just lost out. But this one I got quite lucky on, and as I say, this one, it doesn't come up very often. And I got this for about £35, which is pretty reasonable for it. And it's Konami's Ping Pong. And this one is a classic ping pong game. Everybody's played ping pong at least once in their lifetime on either the Spectrum or the C64. Or even the Amstrad, wherever the case may be. But as I say, this doesn't come up very often, and really, really happy to have grabbed this one. So I just put basically a heavy amount of money on it, so I guaranteed to win it. And I was very, very lucky, and I'm glad I actually won it. But this one is sports number 6. So there you go, that's sports number 6. There's my shaking hand. But yeah, very, very happy to have that one. And that's another sports game to the collection, but I'm going to have to find out exactly how many sports games there are. So as I say, in the next video, I will give you an update on how many I've got and how many I need. So that's sports number 6. and that's the Konami's Ping Pong. Okay, moving on to 2 movie titles. These are the last 2 that I've got for the movie collection up to now. As I say, yet again, I'm not too sure on how many there are within the collection, but as I say, I'll give you an update in the next video. So we'll start with the first one, and this one is movies number 13. Now, there's a bit of pen on there, so you won't be able to see the number, so I'm going to have to get that off. But it's, of course, Stallone Rambo 3. And this isn't a hard game to find. It's just one that eluded me, and I just never got round to getting, to be honest. But as you can see, it's like a top-down, and it also looks like a first-person shooter kind of game. But as I say, this doesn't, you know, it's not one of those that is hard to find. But I got this for about £6, which is pretty reasonable, to be honest with you. So, well happy to add that one to the collection. As I say, that is movies number 13. And that is, of course, Stallone Rambo 3. And then moving on from Stallone, we move on to Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this one is, yet again, this can come up, and does come up not regularly, but, you know, it comes up once in a while, and it's got like a sporadic price on it. You can give for £15, I've seen it give for £10. Well, I just seen it, and I bought it for $14.99 straight away, and it's in beautiful condition. And this one's movie 26, and this is, of course, Terminator 2, Judgement Day. And this is a fantastic condition, this is. But as you can see, it's a bit of everything. It's got 3 levels, I think. It's got like a fighting level, a part where you have to rebuild Arnold Schwarzenegger's face, the Terminator's face, and then also you've got like a top-down racing, chasing section. But I don't think the game is absolutely amazing by any means. I've loaded it up, it works, and that's all I've done at the moment. But still well happy to have that one, and it's in beautiful condition. And as I paid £14 for that, I think it was. So really happy to have that one. So that is the final one, and that is movies 26, and that is Terminator 2 Judgement Day. And so I'll have to give you an update on the next video to let you know how many movies, or even if I've completed the movie set. I'm not too sure. Right, so that's that lot. Now the next lot are all arcade games, and we're going to continue on from where we left off from the last arcade collection video, which obviously was the Addams Family, was the last one I got, which is a very, very a good game. I'm glad I got that, and I got that in the bundle when I very first started collecting, so I did well by getting that game. But we'll move on, and the next one is arcade number 27, and it is SDI. Now, I have played this in the arcades many moons ago. This is quite a good little game. It's very unusual because you basically got like missiles that fly across the screen, and you've just got to, it's like a missile command in a sense, where you've just got to use your cursor and blow up all the missiles that come across the screen, basically. But yeah, not a bad little title. Not a hard one to find by any means, but still very happy to add that to the collection. So that's SDI, and that is arcade number 27. Arcade number 28 is a recent one I've just picked up, and yeah, no, I didn't get this one off. I got this one off eBay. This one I think cost me 20 quid. I just put the money down on it straight away because it doesn't come up there often. And that is arcade number 28. And that is, of course, Zybots. Now, Zybots is it's very difficult. Like, you go down corridors. It's like a Contra style, but you run down corridors, basically. And it don't look too bad. I haven't played this one yet. I haven't uploaded this. So I know it works because the guy sent me pictures of it actually loading. So I'm real happy to have this. And as I say, it's been a while. I see it come up every now and again. Not very often, of course. So when I seen it for $19.99 by it now, I just bought it because I thought it needs to be had. But very happy to have this one. And I say this is one of the most recent ones I got. But that's arcade number 28. And that is Zybots. Okay, right, arcade number 29 is another one. It's a bit sporadic on the price, and it doesn't come up there often. I've seen one like silly prices. The one like 49 quid for it, and then I seen one for £15, which the one I did buy for £15, and then I seen it a week later for £9.99. Just the way it goes, but I'm well happy because it's in good condition anyway. And as I say, it's not one that comes up very often yet again. And this is arcade number 29, and that is the Vindicators, or should I say Vindicators, because there is the Vindicators and there's Vindicators. Now this one, I am not too sure what this is all about. I think it's some sort of obviously tank game, top-down tank game. I've not played this, so I really cannot give you any thoughts on what this game plays like or how it plays. But as I say, it's one I picked up on the fly for £15. I thought, yeah, I'll have that. But really happy to have it because, as I say, it doesn't come up very often. And the prices are sporadic on it. But for £15, I was well happy to pay for it. But as I say, a week later, it come for £9.99. It's just my luck. But still, very happy to have that one. Sorry, I can't give you any explanation on the game, but it just looked like a top-down tank shoot 'em up, as far as I'm concerned. But there you go. That is arcade number 29, and that is Vindicators. I did say that right, didn't I? Yeah, Vindicators. Okay, arcade number 30. Now, this is a great arcade game. I loved this playing this in the arcade when I was a kid. Big, nice arcade with a big, massive steering wheel. Never understood the actual chief, the chief of police, when he talked on the game. Not that he was supposed to, but you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I show you the game. And that is, of course, arcade number 30, and that is APB. And this one needs to be put in its case properly. I've only just noticed that. There you go, that's better. So, needs a new case, of course, but this is like a top-down police game where you're driving around as a policeman, and then you play chief of police, like gobbledygook some language out saying, can you go and arrest this criminal? So you got to drive around and go and arrest criminals, and also you got to pull into shops and get buy donuts and things like that, and for your energy and things like that. I never really got that far on the game because when I very first started to play, I really was quite confused in what you had to do. But going back and playing it, it was a cracking little title. It's not going to be anything like it is on the arcade on, of course, the likes of the Commodore and the Spectrum, but still, it does its best to stick to the original as best as it can. But well, happy to have that one. And I ain't seen that one come up for a while either, APB. So that is arcade number 30, APB. Right, arcade number 31, and this is an absolute classic. Love this game in the arcade. I think any format this has been released on, it really comes across as a great conversion. And it's, of course, Bubble Bobble. And this is an absolutely fantastic platforming game. Really, really great. Iconic music. Iconic game, really, to be honest with you. And as I say, this is a really, really good game. Very happy to add this one to the collection. I got this one a while ago. Yet again, when I bought this, I bought it and it was quite common, and then all of a sudden it's just gone. And it's not coming up there often. But I say, buying these kind of games lately on the 64 and especially the Spectrum, they've just gone mad. It's gone absolutely mental for collecting, and the prices of these games, it's just stupid. And as I say, poor old Scott Brand, he gave up on the collection, and he had literally had where I had left 11 games to get, and I can well understand him quitting, because it's not an easy task, especially on the Spectrum, more so because I think the prices on there are absolutely insane for the Spectrum games. So, you know, he did a great job. He did a grand job to where he got to, and you got to applaud him for that. Fair play to you, Scott. But as I say, you know, the Spectrum is a little bit harder than the 64 to collect for. So, you know, got to give him his due. He did well for what he had. But thankfully, it's still going to be a difficult job on the C64 for me. But regardless. But anyway, guys, yes, the classic Bubble Bobble. Very, very happy to have this one. And as I say, another great game, but not an easy one to come by again lately. So that's arcade 31, and that is Bubble Bobble. Okay, right. Arcade number 32, And it's the third in the trilogy, and it's easily the best game in the trilogy. Okay, I may be slightly exaggerating. And that is arcade number 32. And that is Renegade III. Yes, the fantastic Renegade 3. Now, this is obviously, again, a side-scrolling action platforming game. Not platforming. Well, a bit of platforming, but side-scrolling beat-em-up. And I think this one, you go through time, if I'm not mistaken. But I've heard great things about this game, saying it's one of the best in the series. Not. It's supposed to be an awful game. I haven't yet played this myself, but it's probably one I'm going to load up, have a laugh at, and then never play it again. But still, had to be had. And an embarrassing end to the Renegade series, and that is Renegade 3. So that's arcade 32, Renegade 3. Right, arcade number 33 is another classic arcade game. Never really got on with this game, to be honest with you. Not my thing, but a lot of people like this game. And of course, it's the classic New Zealand story. And as I say, it's a fantastic platforming game from the arcade. And yet again, another game that converts well onto many formats. This game just works well on any system you play it on. But very, very happy to have this one. Not that hard to find, quite a common game. But one of my early ones yet again. And as I say, classic arcade game. Very happy to have it. And that is arcade number 33. And that is the New Zealand story. Next one, arcade number 34. And this is another arcade game I played back in the day. Nice little, it's kind of a first-person shooter. And it is the classic Cabal. I remember playing this in the arcade. It's pretty decent. It's basically like it is like a first-person shooter, but your army guys on the screen. You're just hiding behind walls, and you got to take out all the soldiers and blow up all the tanks and that before you move up a level. But yeah, it's not a bad little game. Quite a little tough little game, to be honest with you, but very, very good, and a classic arcade game at that. Well, happy to have that one. And that is arcade 34, and that is Cabal. Okay, arcade number 35. Arcade number 35. Just got this recently. And I can't remember where I got it from. I might have got this from the Hit Squad group. There's a guy selling one on there, and apologies for not remembering your name, sir. But regardless, I got it for a great price. I got this for about £7, I think, £6 or £7, which ain't too bad, and it's in beautiful condition. And this is arcade 35, and that is tubing. A classic arcade game in many respects. Not one of my favourites, but still a good game nevertheless. You're just like a guy in a rubber ring going down, and you just got to like collect stuff and like prevent yourself from falling off the rubber ring, I think, as you're going down in the river sort of thing. But it don't look too bad. You know, I played it on the arcade. I never made top and tail of it there. I didn't really like it on the arcade, but still, it's one you got to have. And as I say, it's in really good condition, and I paid really quite cheap for this because it's quite common anyway. But there you go. That is arcade 35, and that is tubing. Right, arcade 36 is another classic arcade game. Unfortunately, I'm not too sure whether this translates quite that good over to the likes of the Spectrum and the Commodore 64. I haven't really played this, so I'm going to take that back. It might be a good conversion, but I think the likes of the second one isn't a very good conversion, but this one might be. But regardless, it's great on the arcades, fantastic arcade game, and it is, of course, the classic Chase HQ. As I say, I haven't yet played this. So what I said previous, it might translate over onto the Spectrum and the Commodore 64 and the other systems quite well. But I may be wrong. But as I say, it looks all right. You know, it's a bit monochrome. But what do you expect? You know, you ain't going to get amazing colours on the 64 or the Spectrum. But very happy to have it. Quite a common game to come and pick up. I paid about, well, I think it's part of the bundle I picked up back when I very first started. So, you know, good one to the collection, easy one to find, and that is arcade 36, and that is Chase HQ. Okay. Arcade 37. Top-down shooter. Not played this one either, but this is supposed to be quite a good shoot-up game. I think this was also on the PC Engine, as far as I know. I know there are other this game's on the formats, but this one, once in a while I see it, but I think I paid about 15 yet again for this, and that is arcade number 37, and that is Dragon Spirit. And as you can see, this is like a top-down shooter with dragons in. As I say, I'm assuming, and I think this is actually on the PC Engine also, this game. But another one I haven't yet played. I've loaded it up, and it loads perfectly well, but not yet given the opportunity to sit down and actually play this thing. But still, great to have it in the collection, thankfully. So that is arcade number 37, and that is Dragon Spirit. Arcade number 38, and this is the sequel to a lot of people's favourite gun game on the arcades, Operation Wolf. Anybody? Yeah, we all know Operation Wolf, and you either love it or you hate it, and I know a fair few people who really enjoyed it, and I know a fair few people who didn't really care for it, and it's not a bad game. It's definitely playable, but it's nothing I'd play over and over and over again, because as I say, once you've rinsed it and completed it over, you don't want to play it again. But anyway, let's forget about what I was just talking about. Let's go back and talk about the sequel to Operation Wolf, which is Operation Thunderbolt, and this is more of the same. As you can see, you're on the front screen, and I think this one you actually do a bit of you're in a car and you move up the screen and you've got to take stuff out and all that, as well as your side scrolling shooting action. So it's got a bit of variety in this one. I haven't yet played this one again, so I can't really judge how the game plays, but I'm assuming it's going to be more of the same. I know this was actually put onto the Super Nintendo, so it'll be interesting to see what that's like. I know Alex, Nintendo Arcade, had it at one time, but still fantastic to add it to the collection, of course, and the second in the series, and that is arcade number 38, and that is Operation Thunderbolt. Okay, arcade number 39 needs a new case. This one, common as muck. This one, not a great game. I've never really liked it, even when it came out on the Mega Drive. I never played it in the arcade either, but still, it's part of the collection. It has to be gotten, and now I've got it, and thankfully I'll just leave it in the collection and forget about it. That's arcade 39, and that is Altered Beast. I cannot really see this transferring to the 64 and the Spectrum greatly, so I can't imagine it to be a great play. I've loaded it up. I haven't even played it, just to make sure that it loads. But as I say, I don't think it's a game I'm going to pursue and actually sit down and want to play, because I didn't really like the arcade game or like the game on the Mega Drive, to be honest with you. I played it, completed it, and wasn't for me. But as I say, it's a game I have to get for the Hit Squad, and it's been in the collection since like day one, since I got it. So as I say, it still needs a new case, which I will get to getting around to eventually. But there you go, guys. That's arcade number 39, and that's Altered Beast. Okay, the final game, game number 19 in this video, and this is another classic arcade game. Great racing game, very difficult, mind you, really difficult. I found this very hard to play in the arcade, but what this transfers to actually on the likes of the C64 and the Spectrum is anybody's guess, because I haven't really played this again either. And this is a game that doesn't come up very often either, but really happy to have it. Fantastic condition. And that's arcade number 40, and that is Powerdrift. And this is on the arcade, it's a great race game. But as I say, the way it races and it goes up and down, and it really it goes so quick, it makes my eyes go funny when I'm playing it, and you can't really concentrate on it. You gotta, I just can't get to grips with playing this game. It's still a great racing game, but I just can't get to grips with it in the arcade because it's so fast. It just sends my eyes everywhere. But how it transfers over to the C64 is anybody's guess. As I say, I've loaded it up. I haven't played it, yet again, unfortunately. But still, it's a fantastic game, and this is one of the rarer ones. I ain't seen one in a white type before. I'm assuming that's original. I've only just noticed that, but it does have the actual Hit Squad label on it, so I forgot about that. But regardless, I do have it, and that is, of course, arcade number 40, and that is the classic Powerdrift. Forgot there for a second. Right, there you go, guys. That's 19 more games to the collection. The next video, I'll have another 20, and that will be every game that I own within the Hit Squad collection up to date. As I say, I'm going to leave a list down below, put a list on the Hit Squad group of the last 11 that I need. Some infamous ones there, of course, heavy hitters. But regardless of the fact, they've got to be got, and I will be getting them eventually. But guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient and obviously not being able to put any content up over the last 6 weeks. But I'll try and get a few videos up in the next couple of weeks while I'm on back on my night shift. Hopefully I'll stay on this shift and then I can get more videos out. But as I say, I'll leave it here, guys. Thanks very much for watching. And as per usual, I am Cybersnake7. Keep playing, guys. And remember, always keep watching. All the best.